Occupy Wall Street protesters are planning another global rally later this week ahead of the G20 summit to demand world leaders impose a Robin Hood tax on financial transactions. The movement against economic inequality that started in Lower Manhattan has gained widespread support around the globe. But it's in New York that peaceful protests have seen most arrests, as well as allegations of police heavy-handedness. RT's Marina Portnaya has more.
6 weeks into the Occupy movement, nearly 1,000 unarmed activists have been arrested in New York City. Thrown to the ground, beaten, netted like flies, and pepper sprayed. The NYPD's tactics have been harshly criticized. Yet the most profound and public condemnation recently came from U.S. Marine Sergeant Shamar Thomas while defending demonstrators in Times Square.
Why y'all do this to our people? I've been to Iraq 14 months for my people. You come over here and hurt them. They don't have guns. Why are you hurting these people? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Why do you sleep at night? There is no honor in this.
The lone man that stood up to dozens of New York cops comes from a family of honor.
My stepfather, he went to Afghanistan in 2006. Me and my mother were actually in Iraq at the same time.
Sergeant Thomas completed 2 tours in Iraq before returning to his homeland, where he now aligns himself with the activists he says are being targeted by aggressive authority in uniform.
I haven't seen the NYPD take on a person one-on-one. It's always a few of them, 3, 4, 5 of them on one person. They're your side. These aren't, protesters my size. This is police brutality, hands down.
The 25-year-old war vet says it's come to a point where Iraqi activists are treated with more respect and humility than their American counterparts. He recalls an incident when hundreds of Iraqis got violent with U.S. soldiers.
A few people started throwing rocks, and everybody kind of started throwing rocks. And we actually had a Marine get hit in the face. He was on the back of a truck. But after that, the people were free to go. You know what I mean? We didn't arrest anybody. We didn't go beat up on anybody. So to see the police officers doing this to unarmed civilians in our own country was just, it was, I was amazed, I was in shock.
Visiting the protesters he stood proudly to defend, Sergeant Thomas receives something of a hero's welcome in Zuccotti Park.
Can I shake your hand?
Yes. How you doing?
Wow.
God bless you, really.
Now we can hug.
Gestures of appreciation towards the Marine that completed combat in Baghdad, but just began his battle against police brutality here at home.
Sergeant Thomas's public lashing of the NYPD has reportedly inspired the birth of a new group called Occupy Marines. It calls on U.S. veterans of all military branches to join the anti-Wall Street protests. And with roughly 40,000 soldiers coming back from Iraq by the year's end, this international grassroots movement may grow even mightier. Marina Portnaya, RT, New York.